Hello everyone and welcome to another video of mine, video game video. All right, fantastic. So today we're going to be talking about Hitman 3 on the Xbox Series S. Now, I'd be surprised if you don't know about this game, but hey, just in case, for the people who have not played any of the Hitman games from the series, now this is a stealth type game and it's published by a company called IO Interactive. Now, it's a sequel to the video game Hitman 2, and I think it's the eighth installment in the Hitman series, and it's basically the third installment because this is obviously Hitman 3. Now, I haven't started the game right from the beginning because there is a lengthy cutscene which runs about 7 to 8 minutes long, approximately. So I haven't really started the game from that, but I've started the game from the point where you actually get into the gameplay because that's what I wanted to focus on. Now, this is running on the Xbox Series S, and as you can see, I mean, the character model looks great, the background looks great. I mean, the clouds in the sky, it looks fantastic. The reflections on the glassy surface is incredible, and this is on the Xbox Series S at the end of the day. You can even take a look at that balloon in the background. Your reflection, the clouds, the light from the sun, all of that is getting reflected out here. Now, I'm not sure if this actually has ray tracing going for it. In case you have that information, do let me know about it. It's been quite some time since this game has released, but I still don't have that information because I'm just going into this game without reading too much about it. I do know the publishers is IO Interactive, but apart from that, not a lot of information. Uh, Of course, I'm going to be talking about the resolution. That's something that I read about. I'm going to share that with you lovely people, but not a lot of information going into the game. Now, I have seen a lot of videos online. Some of them are really funny, and this game can get funny. It definitely can, but it depends on the person who's playing it, because if you want to have a very serious campaign experience, then all you got to do is just play it through and through right from the start, and you've got to stick to the mission. You have got to just stick to the mission. But if you want to wander around, do some crazy things, hey, this game allows you to do that. It allows you to kill people that you're not supposed to kill. It lets you have fun. So it is funny. It can get funny, that is. So it is a third person game. And if you have seen my channel, if you know the type of videos that I put out, if you know the type of games that I personally love playing, then you know that I love games which happen to be played from a third person perspective. And that's exactly what this is. It is played from a third person perspective, and you're in charge of Agent 47. So there were a couple of movies also that were made, and you play as Agent 47 here. And in this game, you know, what you're doing in effect is traveling to different places from here, and there are different missions. So it's a very mission based experience that you have. There is a story, obviously, but irrespective of, you know, whether you want to follow the story or not, which is a continuation of the last two games, but the mission itself, you know, feels like this isolated place where, even though you haven't followed any of the Hitman games, or if you haven't played any of the previous Hitman games, I think you'll still feel right at home. I like this mission type based, you know, games as well, apart from the narrative games, you know, which have lengthy cutscenes. Even this is pretty good. Now, we saw the character model as well. I am really surprised as to how good this actually looks on the Xbox Series S. The quality of reflections, they are stellar. And the Xbox is really doing a great job here when it comes to the performance of this game. Now, again, I'm not sure about the ray tracing bit. It feels like it's got ray traced reflections. I'm not sure. I'd be surprised if it does have ray traced reflections, because on the Xbox Series S, as far as the resolution goes, hey, it is running at 1080p. Now, here's the thing. When it comes to, oh man, but before I get to all those details, look at this scene. Look at that sunlight coming from the glass panel and the reflections on the floor. The amount of NPCs in the background, non-playable characters, there are a lot of NPCs in the background, and this game has not even once stuttered or struggled on the Xbox Series S. Now, as far as the frame rates go, it runs a solid 60 FPS on all the consoles, the next gen consoles, that is PS5, Xbox Series X, and Xbox Series S. There is a difference in resolution, and surprisingly, there's a difference in resolution even when it comes to the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X. Xbox Series X is the only console, only current gen console, which runs this game in native 4K. Yes, it's only the Xbox Series X. That leaves us with PlayStation 5. What does that run this game at? The PlayStation 5, I believe, runs this game at 1800p. I may be wrong, but that's what I think. I mean, I've read about it a few places here or there. And although I haven't checked out Digital Foundry's video on that, and I would highly recommend Digital Foundry's video. They always make lovely videos and they give you a technical aspect of the game. They really, you could say, scrutinize a game from the technical viewpoint. But my videos are not about the technical aspects of the game. My videos are mainly about the experience, the overall gaming experience, as to how one may feel when they are playing this game. Now, I also make these videos on the basis of, you could say, the value perspective, because, hey, at the end of the day, some of these games are available on Game Pass. And speaking of Game Pass, this game is now available on Game Pass, but when it initially came out, it was not available on Game Pass. And in case you don't have Game Pass, what are you doing? But hey, in case you don't, you do have to purchase this game. And if you have to purchase this game, then the question is, should you purchase this game? And that's the kind of videos that I like to make about. I'd like to talk about a game and its value perspective. And how does it feel to play the game? The gameplay elements, the story elements, and the overall experience that I have on these games. Now, so far, let me tell you that skipping the cutscene in this video, but I've actually gone through the cutscene. So the cutscene was really detailed and it looked brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And I think it really weaves into that whole experience that you have, because this, after all, is a continuation of the previous two games. So in this particular game, there are many locations. So there are locations because you're traveling all around the world. You get to go to Dubai, you get to go to Berlin, you get to go to China, Romania, I think, as well. So there are a lot of things that you can do in these different places, and there are many new locations. Now, as far as the plot goes, well, you, like I said, play as Agent 47, and all you got to do is carry out these assassinations. And you've got to do these assassinations across these different locations that I just spoke about. I think there are 6 new locations in this game, so quite a lot of variety there in terms of level design, in terms of what it has to offer. And again, take a look at these reflections. They look brilliant. I do not have that information whether this has ray traced reflections or not. In case you do let me know in the comment section as well, and people can benefit out of your comment. So here in this particular stage, you have to assassinate 2 people, and that's what you're set out to do. So you have to eliminate Marcus Stuyvesant. I don't know how it's pronounced. I may be butchering that name. And you have to eliminate another person called Carl Ingram, right? So the interesting bit is that you can scan the whole place by walking, sprinting around. And what's interesting is, to accomplish that mission of yours, you can take the costume, or you can disguise yourself as a person who works here. In fact, that's what I'm gonna try and do. But I'm just trying to look around right now, just to give you a feel as to how brilliant this game looks on the Xbox Series S. And although it runs at 1080p at 60 FPS, let me tell you that if you're playing this on a 4K television, this, at the end of the day, is going to get upscaled. And when it does get upscaled, it is going to look stunning on your television. Now, I am playing this on my Samsung AU9070, just for reference, and it is looking superb. Every single bit of this game is looking superb. The glassy surfaces, the reflective surfaces, the character designs, and there's a lot of chatter happening in the background as well. So it's all coming together really well. So it is a busy game in terms of NPCs. It is a busy game in terms of assets. And as you can see, the assets, the level design, everything is just stellar. It's brilliant. And here, all I'm going to do is, get the guard to come inside. There's a camera that I can look at. And now the guard's going to come in and Bam, down you go, mighty. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take his clothes and disguise myself as one of the staff members. And that's what is insane about Hitman. You get to see him in so many costumes that you can actually don in the game. So it's bonkers. Hey lady, too bad you saw me. Now you've got to go down. I'm just gonna subdue this poor little woman. Not gonna assassinate her. Not gonna snap her neck. But you can snap a person's neck as well. I'm just gonna drag her, put her inside, right next to the guard. When she's gonna get up and about, she's gonna find herself lying or laying next to an almost naked man in a bathroom, which is flooded with water. Wow. Okay, so it's not just the ground, you could say, but even the tiles on the wall. Everything has that shine, and I am surprised that it's pulling off such a great job, because this looks graphically intensive. I mean, it looks like it's demanding a lot out of the Xbox Series S, but it's flawless when it comes to the performance on the Series S. It's incredible. And it's experiences like these that really take you by surprise. I mean, because at the end of the day, the Xbox Series S, hey, it's a $300 console. And for a $300 console to give you so much is great value for money. So Xbox Series S, it's 1080p at 60 FPS. PlayStation 5, it's 1800p at 60 FPS. And your Xbox Series X is the top of the line with a native 4K at 60 FPS. Now that leaves us with the previous gen consoles like PlayStation 4, PlayStation 4 Pro, or Xbox One X or S. Well, on those consoles, this game runs only in 30 FPS, unfortunately. So the 60 FPS experience is limited to your current gen consoles. And that's why you've got to get yourself a current gen console. Hey, if you can get your hands on an Xbox Series S, get your hands on an Xbox Series S. It is definitely a fantastic value for money device. Comes at only $300. You're in India, even if you want to buy a pre-owned Xbox Series S, it comes for less than like 30,000 rupees. You can get one for like 28,000. But hey, a new one just costs around 35,000. So you might as well just buy a new one instead of getting a pre-owned one. But it's, again, I mean, just look at it. It's stunning. Every single part of this game looks brilliant, whether it's the plants, the trees, the buildings, because this definitely looks like a very, you could say, modern building kind of an environment with a lot of levels. So you have to go up, down, multiple levels. You have to climb stairs. I think, you can even take elevators, etc. But this looks fantastic. I mean, let me know in the comment section as to what you feel about this game in terms of the looks, in terms of the design so far. I know this is quite an old game because it's been around for some time now. It's not exactly new, but I do love to talk about games which have now been released on Xbox Game Pass. And again, this game is available on Xbox Game Pass now. And that's why Xbox Game Pass, great value for money. That makes up one great reason for you to pick up an Xbox, whether it's X or S, because you now have access to over 450 games, including EA Play. So including EA, you have over 450 games. It's soon approaching 500. And with the new Activision and Blizzard acquisition that Xbox had, I wouldn't be surprised if they breach that 500 mark in, say, about less than 6 months' time. And they keep adding games every now and then. So in terms of the game library, there are new games getting added every now and then. I mean, just like this one, Hitman got added, and there's so many other new games that have been added as well. So Xbox Game Pass, superb value for money. One big reason as to why you should get yourself an Xbox Series S or an X. Now, surprisingly enough, the X is still very hard to get here in India. It's extremely difficult for me to get my hands on an Xbox Series X, but S is widely available. It's available in retail stores, it's available online, and it's easily available. So here again, I'm disguised as, you could say, a steward. You can hide in places. And what I want to do is I want to disguise myself as maybe a guard. So, right, let's take his costume now. That's the best part. So here you do not, in other games, for instance, you have to upgrade yourself so that you could try out different costumes, different gear. Here, the best part is that you don't really have to go through an upgrade process. Every time you take down a person, you can literally snatch his clothes off of him, and even his weapons for that. So here you have clothes, weapons, all that you can get your hands on. And hey, now I'm ready to go assassinate these two fellas, Carl Ingram and Marcus Stuyvesant. Again, let me know, how it's pronounced. I'm definitely getting that wrong. But again, look at the variety in the level design, right? You've gone from out in the open, up in the skies, taking a look at the clouds, to a level, where, it has like a party deck and, there's champagne flowing and, people chit-chatting, to a very industrial kind of level design here, where, this is behind the curtains, you could say. So much of variety. And I really appreciate that. I'm still finding it difficult to find these guys. Well, there is a mini map on your bottom left-hand corner, and you can track your targets by taking a look at that. Well, this is the guy. This is one of the guys that I've got to assassinate. So you got to take it easy, because you don't want to trigger an alarm or something, and you don't want others to really notice you assassinating these folks. So that's what these games are about. I mean, the Hitman series, it's about being stealthy. And if you don't want to be stealthy, well, you can take that approach as well. It's just that you've got to fight off these other guards, and you've got to survive. You've got to run. You've got to escape, so to speak. Okay, so here this guy is all alone. Let's try to eliminate him here. In fact, didn't even use the gun. All right. So the other guy is just in the background now, and okay, let's just drag him here. Okay, and done. That's how easy it was. So one guy has been eliminated. Now to find the other guy and eliminate that guy. So here you see the AI has already been alarmed, and they now know that the first guy has been eliminated. So they try to reach the spot of death.
How's it going up here? We're good for now.
And now I'm just trying to find this guy. I think he's at a higher level, if I'm not wrong. So it does show that, he's right here, but he may not be on this level. He may be on some other level, meaning that, maybe a couple of levels up. Because this is the other guy that was smoking in the opening cutscene out in a balcony. So he's definitely not going to be in a level like this. He's going to be up on a shiny level where he is looking at the clouds, smoking away till his death approaches him. Okay. I'm just trying to figure out still, where to go. Okay, so all right, gonna travel here, and oh, so they still don't know that I am the person who has assassinated the first bloke. So, all right, now if you know, I always play all my games on the easy difficulty level. It's also to show, what the games are capable of. If I play this on a harder difficulty level, then I may not be able to show And it's going to be very embarrassing on camera to be dying so many times over and over again. So I am outside. I kind of figured out, I think, where I need to go. So I definitely need to go up because that guy was smoking in one of the balconies. So going upstairs, you got a nice copter there. And okay, let's try to find this other guy now. Don't want to tip these guys, so let's walk from the background. Alrighty. And even the lighting on this game, I don't know if you've already noticed this, but it's brilliant. I mean, the way the lighting rig works, the reflections on the surface of the character, light bouncing off the character, it's amazing. Now, when I say reflections on the character is, if he's wearing something shiny, etc. Yeah, in this case, he's not. Okay, do I have to turn it off? Okay, I turn it off. There's a guy who's gonna come outside, and all I gotta do is knock him off. Come on, no, come on outside. There you are. Nighty night, fella. Oops. Oh no. Okay. I hope he does not. Okay. Gone. Done. Knockout. Rocky Balboa. Ooh. Okay. So let's use this guy's disguise now. So, let's pull him inside first and see if he can use his disguise now. And he's got a bigger gun, so I do want to take hold of that as well. Okay. What's this? Okay.
Yeah, just want to remind you about the lockdown drill tomorrow. That's right, 900 hours. And the key cards to activate the alarm.
Okay, so I didn't. Okay. Oh, these guys don't recognize me. Fantastic. Again, take a look at those reflections on the surface, the ground that is. It is gorgeous. I mean, this game is gorgeous. It simply looks brilliant on the Xbox Series S. And you will not be disappointed in terms of, what it can actually do on the Xbox Series S. Now, 60 FPS, well, it definitely makes a difference. It most definitely does. And so far, it's been a steady 60 FPS, let me tell you that. So despite of the fact that it looks graphically demanding, the Xbox Series S so far has done a brilliant job when it comes to the performance of the game. So no frame drops that I have personally experienced so far. It is a steady 60 FPS on the Xbox Series S. And that is what is so good about the Series S. And I keep harping this over and over again. I do sound like a broken record sometimes, but that's how good the Xbox Series S really is. I mean, it's one heck of a performer, you could say. So I have seen reports of the Xbox Series S and even the Series X dropping a few frames in one particular level, but this is not that level. So this is a standard, a solid, superb 60 FPS, over 20-25 minutes almost now into the gameplay, and not a frame drop. It's a solid 60 FPS so far. Down you go, buddy. Sorry about that. But a man's gotta do what a man's gotta do. Let's take that big gun now and let's move forward. Okay. So far, I've been very stealthy, and that's what this game is about. Now, I could have taken that approach where I literally shoot my way into killing this other guy, Carl Ingram, but I did not choose to do that. Now, I have taken the serious approach in this case, where I stick to the mission objectives and I carry out the mission objectives in the most stealthiest way possible.
It smells delicious.
And even the NPCs, they're quite chitty chatty, meaning that they are interacting in the background. It's not like, they're just there to occupy screen space. They are interacting with one another, and that gives you an immersive experience. It definitely does. And I appreciate that when game developers add that kind of details into a game where they're trying to make your experience as immersive as possible. Definitely appreciating that, you could say, that work that the developers have put in. So, lockpick. All right. I'm just gonna unlock this, and I'm sure I have a card. All right, there you go. I took the security guard's costume. So when you take a person's costume, it comes along with, you know, certain things of its own. Like, for instance, nobody's gonna notice you because, hey, you are one of the guards. And secondly, you know, I did have the security access card with me as well because of taking that costume. So now I think I finally figured this out. I'm on my way to eliminate or assassinate Carl Ingram. There you are, Mr. Carl Ingram. And yep.
Providence partner and brass-balled billionaire. A legendary.
Hey, Mr. Billionaire, it's time for you to sleep. Sleepy sleep, sleepy sleep. Let's try to put him to sleep. And again, I am as stealthy as one can get. Gone. Alrighty, so that is mission accomplished. And now that I have, I hadn't. So now that I have taken care of this guy, let's try to escape this place. And I think that would make sure that I have finished or completed the mission objective successfully without alarming anyone. Brilliant. So do let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. What do you think about the Hitman 3 on the Xbox Series S? If you've enjoyed this video, share your thoughts in the comment section and let me know, because I love to hear from you folks. It helps my channel grow, and I definitely appreciate your love and support in advance, guys. And that's it for this video, folks. It's a wrap for this one. Until we meet again in the next video. But before I go, hit that like and subscribe button and also that bell icon in case you want to get notified with all my latest videos. With that said, happy gaming, folks. Take care, stay safe, and may God bless you all.